Hi guys, today we are going to show you what is a TED Talk. But before that, we are going to show you a little explanation about what a public speaking is. Okay, since the beginning of the human history, public speaking has been used as one of the most important means of communication. Public speaking importance can be traced back to ancient Greece, where Greek citizens were trained in public speaking, so they can be part of society. As a result, ancient Greeks developed which is called rhetoric. Once on a time, ancient Greek pericles said, "One who forms a judgment on any point but cannot explain it clearly might as well never have thought at all on the subject." That is to demonstrate the importance of being able to communicate your ideas and opinions is as important as the idea and opinion itself. And according to Range 2011, public speaking is the procedure of creating and delivering a meaningful idea to a particular audience. Good public speech involves the understanding of the audience, the purpose of the speech, and the selection of key elements that will catch and maintain the audience attention. So now, what is a TED Talk? A TED Talk is a showcase for a speaker presenting great, well-formed ideas in just under 18 minutes. But why under 18 minutes? This short talk model works, since it only demands the audience attention for a short period of time, decreasing the chances of minds wandering or daydreaming about anything while the presentation is going. And what is a great well-formed idea? It can actually be one of two things: something that is new and surprising, an idea or invention that your audience had never heard about, or a great basic idea that your audience has maybe already heard, but with a compelling new argument behind it that it challenges beliefs and perspectives. In other words, an idea isn't just a history or a list of facts. A good idea takes certain evidence or observation and draws in a larger conclusion. It is also important for you to know that there are more than one kind of TED Talks. We are going to name it briefly and you can search it further information on internet. The the most important kind of TED Talks are the big idea, the tech demo, the performance, the artist's statement, the dazzling with wonder, the small idea, and the issue talk. So these are the most common kind of TED Talks you could find in the web page. Well, you may be asking yourself why TED Talk was created. Well, this was created by the need of people which wanted to spread worthy ideas in many different areas, and also because many people wanted to hear these kind of ideas of other people with deeper knowledge and experience in different areas, in order to improve themselves by hearing other people's way of thinking and vision of the life events or situations. Well, we think that it's important for you to learn how to prepare a TED Talks, because we think that ideas presented in TED Talks are really relevant to people's life and could change the way they see the world. In addition to that, we think that learning how to prepare or make a TED Talk could be really useful and could easily motivate people which have a deeper way of seeing life to express and share their ideas. Not just in a TED Talk conference, but it's a nice option in order to learn how to express people's own ideas to other ones, which could be a conference in the school, university, work, and even on a internet video. So on the next part of the video, we are going to analyze TED Talks in order to you to know how to prepare a catchy public speaks as TED Talk speakers. You will learn posture, expressions, intonation, pitch, common errors, and some tips in order to prepare a great public speak. So, starting with the analysis, we are going to talk about the tone used in TED Talk, which is mainly humoristic, especially at the beginning of the presentation, where presenters use some jokes to catch audience attention. In most of cases, the tone is personal. The presenter refers specifically to the present audience or talk about his own personal experience. So now you have to pay attention to the kind of audience that you will have uh, while doing a TED Talk. Similarly to many other presentations, TED Talks are a monologic genre in which the presenter presents an idea or topic to a passive audience that is not allowed to interfere or ask questions. In some cases, the audience takes a more active role when they are asked by the presenter to imagine a situation or think about personal experience. However, even in these cases, no utterance is expected by the presenter or permitted by the rules of the conference. TED Talk sessions are scheduled months before the actual session, and each presenter is assigned a set amount of time for their presentation. Due to this, presenters need to plan their speech to be delivered in the given time. Furthermore, the presenter needs to rehearse their presentation to check if the message is clear, match the visual aids presented, and if it complies with the time assigned. You also have to consider that TED Talks presenters use a microphone. Therefore, the volume of the speaker is normal, high enough to be captured by the microphone and low enough to not produce problems with the speakers. However, in some cases is modified to emphasize parts of the speech. The rhythm of the speech suffers the same variance according to the purpose of the reader, to calm, insist, motivate, make a point, etc. In that part of the speech, or in the whole speech, the speed is never plain and forms a fundamental for keeping the interest of the audience.
After learning everything to take into consideration to create a great presentation, a great TED Talk, let's see how to effectively use our voice. Because, as you may know, not only is important what you say, but it's also important how you say it. Now, I will present you tips taken from the book Public Speaking for Dummies by Malcolm Kushner. Tip number 1. Pay attention to the words you emphasize. Because, depending how you emphasize or what word you emphasize in a sentence, the sentence itself will change in meaning, power, or even informality. If you know what I mean. Tip number 2. Don't rush through the presentation. This will show how nervous and desperate you are, and it will also affect your ability to persuade the audience with your message, and they will lose their attention. Tip number 3. Don't be monotonous. Change your volume, rhythm, speed, or even your pitch during the presentation. Presenting in a monotonous way will bore your audience. In fact, changing your volume during the speech will intensify the effectiveness of some words.
The time was much more memorable. This was part of a challenge I did to take a picture every day for a month, and I remember exactly where I was and what I was doing that day. I also noticed,
and changing your pitch will give deeper meaning to some other words.
Oh, I wrote it in a month. It's awful. But for the rest of my life, if I meet John Hodgman at a TED party, I don't have to say, I'm a computer scientist. No. If I want to, I can say, I'm a novelist. So here's
changing your rhythm will help you to leave some spaces during your presentation that will let some ideas sink in the audience and boost the level of attention of your audience.
Your life and try it for the next 30 days. It turns out 30 days is just about the right amount of time to add a new habit or subtract a habit, like watching the news from your life. There's a few things that I learned while doing these 30.
Well, not only words are important aspects of a great presentation, you should also pay attention to non-verbal aspects. I will give you some tips to become the greatest TED Talker and public presentation of the whole universe. The first aspect that you need to learn is how to dress. This is simple. Always dress to impress. This means to dress formally or in a business outfit. Not like a clown, not like any other crazy outfit. I mean, you are certainly impressed, but not in the right way. You also have to take into consideration that it doesn't matter if the audience is in formal clothes or in the bathing suit, you should always dress formally. Why? Because according to Dale Carnegie, author of Public Speaking for Success, dressing correctly boosts your self-confidence and self-respect. Now that you have learned how to dress, you also need to learn how to own the stage. What does this mean? This means to learn how to present yourself in the stage, in the scenario, and move around and conquer the whole audience. Why is this important? Because according to Kushner, continuous movement in the scenario allows you to maintain the attention of the audience. We can see an example in this video.
Even last year, I ended up hiking up Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa. I figured out that if you really want something badly enough, you can do anything for 30 days.
Now, what you should not do. You should not move in a regular pattern because it affects the attention of the audience. You should also not stay frozen in a position for the whole speech. This will show the audience how nervous you are and it will affect your whole presentation. Perfect! Now that you know what to do with your body and what to do with your clothes, let's move on to another important body part. The eyes. This is important because you should always be aware of your gaze. I suppose you will not like to look like this. Now let's focus our attention in the last one non-verbal aspect that I will teach you, posture. If you are standing up in a bad posture, this might appear to the audience as someone tired or even lazy. And on the contrary, if you maintain a good posture, you will appear to be more confident. Now, we will show you what are the characteristics of a good posture. Now I will give you tips from Kushner about what not to do in order to have a good posture. Don't put your hands in your pocket. You will look lazy. Don't cross your arms in front of your chest. This will make you look aggressive. Don't put your hands in your hips. This will make you look actually mad or enraged. Most people have problems about what to do with their hands. I will give you a simple tip. First, put your hands in front of you in an applauding position and begin talking and giving your presentation. They will naturally begin to move and you won't even notice. Okay, finally, let's see some grammatical structures, some grammar expressions or tools that will help you to become the greatest of all forever. I will present to you repetition. What is repetition? Our friend Kushner, so useful, explains that the idea of repetition is to repeat a group of words or phrases to emphasize sections of your presentation and to regain the audience attention. Let's see the following example.
Great American philosopher, Morgan Spurlock, and try something new for 30 days. The idea is actually to add to your life and try it for the next 30 days. It turns out 30 days is just about the right amount of time to add a new habit or subtract a habit. I also noticed that as I started to do more and harder 30-day challenges, my self-confidence grew.
Well, I think I didn't quite get it. How many days did you have to do something new?
Okay. I would never have been that adventurous before I started my 30-day challenges.
Oh yeah, well, I guess I won't forget that. And another tool quite useful is the use of rhetorical questions. And what is a rhetorical question? Well, according to the online dictionary Merriam-Webster, a rhetorical question is a type of question that don't require an answer, and is rather used to make a statement, especially to focus the attention of the audience on the statement. Let's see an example of this.
Naturally and subtly. So what's the solution? It's not my job. I'm here to alarm. It's your job to come.
Okay guys, that was all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and see you soon.